Running has been a big part of my recovery because it gives me that natural high, a healthier way to release those endorphins. I'm able to put on my running shoes and go out the front door and just leave everything behind and be free. My addiction started when I began smoking pot my sophomore year in college, and that's when I realized I wasn't able to stop. So I moved to Portland in 2001 from Las Cruces, New Mexico. Things weren't working out for me. I thought, hey, I can get myself a job as a waiter there and start a new life, see if I like it. And the next thing you know, I found myself needing help. And so I was able to get help, and I managed to get myself sober, and I stayed sober for 6 years. And I became the best waiter. They made me the lead server. My sobriety was great, I was running. And then one day, it was after I got my 6-year coin, that maybe I just overreacted to this whole thing in the beginning. And so I smoked a little more pot. I went and had a drink. It was then I discovered crystal meth, and crystal meth destroyed me. And to go from waiting on Aerosmith and Keanu Reeves and Phil Knight and making all that money to sitting on the street with the book bag, how did this happen? I had to start over, and so I got myself a job at the Shiloh Inn at the airport as a busboy, pouring water. And then I got a job at Applebee's. But then that led to another job at Quartet, which led to another job at Morton's, which led to another job at Portland City Grill, and I built myself back up, and I got here, but it came with relapse.
I think that relapse is what gave him the power to be so good at what he does now in recovery. He can take you running, and he can take you walking. He stops you halfway out and says, how you feeling? And they say, wow, I'm feeling great. And then he says, that's your higher power. That's what's inside you. What he's doing it's groundbreaking.
In 2017, I had enough. I went to a meeting, and then I went to another, and then another, and I stacked together multiple days. And then when I got 2 years, people from DePaul Treatment Center would show up, and they would hear me talk about my love for running, my love for my dog, everything that recovery had given me. One of the patients in treatment at DePaul, his name was Daniel Torres. He asked if you could find us somebody to take us running, and they said, we'll try. If you get a petition and get 10 people saying that they want to go with you, we will see what we can do. And Daniel came back in 5 minutes with a list of 10 people. And it was right outside the doors of DePaul on that Tuesday at 11 a.m. when we came up with the name, Go the Distance. We went out for a run, and I noticed that some of the runners didn't have the right shoes to go running in. They had steel-toed boots. They had skater shoes. So I asked them if they had running shoes, and they said no, that they were lucky they had those shoes. And so I got on Facebook, and I just started asking people for running shoes. And I started getting a collection of gently used running shoes, sometimes brand new running shoes. And I started a little pile there in my living room, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger. But then we thought, instead of giving away the shoes, let's let them earn the shoes. Maybe if you run with us 8 times, 10 times, 12 times, you get a new pair of shoes. But we'll give you some loaners to run in until you earn your new shoes.
Izzy is the brightest and loudest person in every room. He is charismatic, he is passionate. Izzy wants to do anything that he can for people who are struggling.
Alyssa with her dog Oliver, me with Anna Mae, we would go to dog parks and play. And at the dog park, I was telling Alyssa one day about my volunteer gig at DePaul and how much I loved it and how much I wanted to do more.
And he had the passion and the recognition and the recovery and the perspective of recovery.
And she goes, I am minoring in civic leadership, majoring in public health, and I'm so on board. Let's do this.
Izzy is special because of his unbridled enthusiasm for recovery. All of the things that you need to do to be a successful person in recovery. I myself, I have 27 years of recovery, but I don't have the recovery skills that Izzy has.
Izzy's a mentor and a role model to me. He's now my boss at Go the Distance, but above and beyond, Izzy's family to me. I first met Izzy 2019 and he would take us out for the runs. And the impact he had on us with his passion and his love has really stuck with me and other people once we got outside of treatment. And now we have the alumni runs that are twice a week. And it's another way for people to connect, share their life stories, and just make them feel like they're a part of something that's bigger than them.
He has rallied people together around movement and around recovery that has brought really all different walks of life, from people in recovery from different treatment centers to allies to professional runners, just to have the opportunity to get out and go for runs.
When asked for a reasonable request to be of service in AA and recovery, you say yes. You don't think about it, you just say yes. And so I just said yes. And I'm so glad I did. Had I not said yes that day, had I not gone to a meeting that day, had Daniel not said, I want to go running, and had the mentor not had the willingness to say, yes, let me see what I can do, none of this would have happened. So did I start Go the Distance? I think it's a gift from God. I think God gave me this gift. He gave me a mission and said, this is what you're going to do. You're gonna change people's lives. And I very much believe we are doing that.